topic of SAM is important, and it's a constant challenge for assisted living communities. Having said that, I'm going to start at the most basic level, which is the definition of SAM. SAM in assisted living stands for self-administered medication management. The definition in the regulations set forth by the Executive Office of Elder Affairs is a process which includes reminding residents to take medication, opening containers for residents, opening prepackaged medication for residents, reading the medication label to residents, and observing residents while they take the medication. When you take into consideration how truly complex it can be to run a successful SAM program, there is not really a lot written about SAM in the EOEA regulations. You can refer to the bottom of page 13 and the beginning of page 14 when it comes to the SAM regulations. It basically states the following. I kind of took out all the fancy CMRs and fancy wording and kind of put it into a basic statement. If a resident is participating in SAM, that must be reflected on the service plan, and that includes both prescription and over-the-counter medications. The person doing SAM must remind the resident to take the medication, must check the package to ensure the name on the package matches the resident, must observe the resident take the medication, and must document in writing that they took or didn't take the medication, the date, and the time. The person doing SAM can, if requested by the resident, open prepackaged meds or open containers, read the name of the medication and the directions on the label to the resident, and respond to any questions the resident may have about the directions. An assisted living community may assist with meds in another container, such as family pre-filled cassettes, but there must be a disclosure of the risks involved and consent by the resident, or the guardian can also be. When I say the resident sign it, it might be a guardian who is signing it or a representative of the family. SAM can only be performed by an individual who has completed personal care services training, a practitioner or a licensed nurse to the extent allowed by regulations and standards governing nursing practice in Massachusetts. And we will discuss that further later on about this. There can be no central storage. The meds must be kept in the apartments, and a refrigerator must be provided by the assisted living community if the resident has a medication that must be refrigerated. So that's the basic, and there isn't tons written there. And I think because the regulations still left a lot of questions, the Executive Office of Elder Affairs responded with FAQs, which answer questions regarding SAM. And again, I'm summing this up a little because I'm not going to read every single word of it. But they did make it very clear that it's not okay to just knock on a door or a phone call and say, take your medication, that is not considered SAM. It's absolutely not okay. You also cannot leave a medication out for a resident to take later. Only a resident can decide when it is or is not appropriate to take a medication.